Yo, what's up, guys? What a game tonight between the Leafs and Islanders. The Leafs lose tonight to New York Islanders, guys, 5-3. Man, what another embarrassing performance tonight by the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. Just a pathetic game tonight by the Leafs, with their rookie goaltender starting in net tonight. Artur Atramayev was starting in net tonight. You also had Luke Kames making his debut. So you expected maybe the Leafs to play a little bit better tonight in front of their rookie goaltender making his debut, but we all know this Maple Leafs team. They don't understand any moment. They don't understand anything when it comes to big moments for certain people. And once again, this Maple Leafs team here just shows again how many deficiencies they have this season, how bad they are as a team, because Lord have mercy, that first period was something else, man. Out of NHL, honestly, out of a video game, for God's sakes. Like playing in a game of NHL, for God's sakes, to see the Islanders outshoot the Maple Leafs, guys. Was it 24-3 in the first period? Incredible that the Leafs only gave up 2 bloody goals in that first period, guys. You had that first goal there where the Leafs had a delayed penalty. Islanders had that extra man on the ice. Brayden Schenn, who was acquired at the deadline, who's got 17 points in 16 games since being acquired from the Islanders, guys. Matt Scrammer in front of the net there with the Leafs. Too many guys, too high up the ice there. Nobody in front of the net. They're protecting the goalie. You just see Brayden Schenn wide open in front of the net there, guys. Really nice assist by Horvat there and Ricci, to feed him there. It's just incredible to me to see how wide open Schenn is there. How badly the Leafs were there defensively, to give the Islanders the 1-0 lead. And it was the same thing on the second goal. Mad scramble in front of the net there. Max Domi tries to hug the post there. Pajot's able to squeak it in after a couple attempts there to shoot the puck in the net there. And he's able to score to make it 2-0 for the Islanders. It was just complete dominance by the Islanders, who were obviously, awful week. They had fired Patrick Waugh during that week off, hired Pete DeBoer. So you knew the Islanders were going to have a new coach bump, have a little bit of extra motivation. Of course, they're competing for a playoff spot, either in a wild card or in a division spot in the Metropolitan Division. So the Islanders had a lot to play for tonight. They had other teams like Philadelphia and Columbus playing tonight. So it was absolutely massive for the Islanders to come out strong, get 2 points tonight. And you saw them come out firing with those amount of shots on net, having the 2 goals. But the way the Islanders were playing, the way Ilya Sorokin specifically was playing in this game, my God, man. It was like this guy here individually, Sorokin, was trying to keep the Leafs in this hockey game tonight. You see that goal by Lorentz, absolutely horrendous goal to give up to cut the deficit down to 2, an absolutely brutal goal. Then Troy Stetter's able to draw a penalty in the second period, a high-sticking penalty, Leafs on the power play, and then Easton Cowan, who's had a really bright stretch the last couple weeks, of course, going into the end of the season, with an absolutely beautiful snipe on the power play by Easton Cowan. A really nice shot by the kid there. This kid here is going to have a really big role next season for the Leafs, guys. Going to be a really bright spot for the Leafs team next year, of course. And I really like that shot. He took their beautiful snipe on Sorokin there, who was having an absolutely horrendous night, to say the least. And the Maple Leafs, after getting outshot 24-3, guys, having only 6 shots in the second period, Easton Cowan is able to tie it up, and tie it up at 2-2, guys. It's like, after having only 3 shots in the first, Sorokin had only made like 4 or 5 saves, and it was a 2-2 hockey game. And I'm saying to myself, please, God, do not give this Leafs team an extra point or a possible win. The way that goaltender was playing tonight, it was looking a little bit scary at first. But, the Leafs, we've seen their deficiencies, like I mentioned at the beginning, of course. You saw how they leave guys wide open in this game, but you do not leave this kid wide bloody open. Matthew Schaefer, this kid here, man, what an absolute stud this kid is. The New York Islanders have hit the absolute jackpot with this kid, man. What a talent he is at 18 bloody years old. 59 points for a rookie, and to score a goal like that wide open, to tie the NHL rookie record for goals by a defenseman with 23 goals, tying Brian Leetch. That was a 37-year run of a rookie not scoring that amount of goals, and Matthew Schaefer has just tied Leetch. I'm pretty sure he's going to break it with the last 2 games left in the season. If he doesn't, it still doesn't matter. What an accomplishment that is. What a player this kid is, man. what a talent he is, and the Islander fans too. You guys should just stop booing John Tavares, honestly. You got this kid now, this kid here is really going to turn their fortunes around. Honestly, Braden Shen waived his no-move clause to go to New York to play with Matthew Schaefer. This kid here is going to change the fortunes of that franchise around. Now, players are going to want to go there to play with that kid specifically. So this move here, by getting lucky in the draft, getting this kid first overall, played 17 games last year, broke his collarbone at the World Juniors, still went first overall, is putting up numbers like this. The Islanders got lucky, having only a 10% chance of winning the lottery, guys. The jackpot, technically, if you ask me, because this kid here is going to be a talent for the next 20 years in the NHL, man. What a player this kid is, guys. So, honestly, the Islanders fans should stop booing John Tavares. You got some really nice pieces now with Barzal and Schaefer, some great veteran guys like Lee, Horvat, Shen, those guys are former captains. Horvat and Shen, of course, with Vancouver and obviously St. Louis. So they got some great veteran leadership, great young talent as well. So the Islanders are trending in the right direction. They probably have a better chance of winning more under this regime, under Matthew Schaefer leading the charge, than probably under John Tavares. So if you guys ask me, they are in a very good spot moving forward with their franchise. So great goal by Schaefer to make it a 3-2 lead for the Islanders. Then we saw the power play for the Islanders. Heineman gets a goal there. 4-2 for the Islanders. Wide open in the slot. They're just a really nice shot by Heineman. Aichimov can't do nothing, guys. What do you want the kid to do? Honestly, the kid was getting peppered all game. Leave holes left and right in their own end. The Islanders were just picking their moments, picking their spots, and finding moments to snipe on the kid. Then we got the other goal where Richie there, though, in the third period. Just absolutely incredible how that goal happens, guys. So Jake McCabe tries to clear the puck out after the kid makes an incredible save on Braden Shen. McCabe tries to dump the puck out, goes off Calle Yarncroc. The shaft of his stick falls right to Ricci there, banks it in there to make it 5-2. It's like, my God, man. When it rains, it pours for the Leafs. I've said this many times, and that goal there was just another example on what a disaster this season has been for the Leafs. But then you get another horrendous goal by the Leafs, by Morgan Rielly, where Matthew Barzal sticks on the ice, deflects off his stick, goes in between Sorokin there, makes it a third goal for the Leafs. It's just absolutely pathetic by Ilya Sorokin in this game tonight, guys. He was absolutely horrendous in this game, giving up 3 goals on 16 shots. Like, are you bloody kidding me, man? Like, he's been one of the best goalies this year, Ilya Sorokin. But tonight, man, I said to myself, this guy couldn't stop a bloody beach ball tonight. It was incredible to me, to see the Islanders get 5 goals tonight. Thank God, because if Aichimov had made a couple more extra saves, the Leafs maybe get an extra point tonight because of that horrendous performance by Ilya Sorokin. But luckily enough, the Islanders were able to hold off, win this game, no problems at all, finding a way to beat the Leafs 5-3. They are continuing to fight for a playoff spot. This is massive for the Leafs. Not getting another win in regulation is absolutely huge. Not getting any loser points. This is great to see, guys. The Leafs getting another loss. You only got 3 games left in this horrendous season, guys. But next game absolutely terrifies me, to say the least, guys, because unfortunately, the Florida Panthers could not beat the Ottawa Senators tonight. They lost 5-1 tonight. The Leafs and Panthers are both tied with 78 points. Florida has the better head-to-head record against us. They're above us by a spot. My God, I am very nervous for this game on Saturday. The Florida Panthers, who are the defending back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, know how to tank better than the Toronto Maple Leafs. Florida is sitting everybody right now that is in a top 6 role right now. They are not playing anybody right now. They are playing a bunch of minor league guys, 3rd and 4th liners. They don't give a shit where they finish because they have a top 10 protected pick. They really don't care where they fall, but they just see the Toronto Maple Leafs needing to get that bottom 5 spot, and they're looking at the standings, probably saying to themselves, hey, boys, let's really do one in on Saturday. Let the Leafs hand us an L, let the Leafs get past us, and really, really screwing up the Maple Leafs draft stock. It's just incredible to me, man. The Bruins and the Panthers, they just know how to hurt the Leafs no matter what position we're in, no matter if it's at the top of the division or at the bottom of the Eastern Conference, guys, trying to get bottom 5. One of those 2 teams there will absolutely haunt the Maple Leafs. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes to the Panthers being smarter than the Maple Leafs. Oliver Ekman-Larsson left the game today. If you guys watched my video yesterday, after I said Stolar's playing yesterday, getting hurt, why risk playing veteran guys like Oweah, who was injured last week? There's no need to play him. You played kids like Hames tonight, who played 12 minutes tonight, hit a post, got a little bit unlucky. Achamoff played great tonight. Nothing the kid could bloody do tonight. What do you want the poor sap to do? Honestly, the kid couldn't do anything, making 39 saves tonight. The kid was solid. The kid's fist bumping his teammates after giving up 24 shots in the first period. There's nothing else more the kid could do, for God's sake. He's not going to go and rip his teammates saying, I need some bloody protection in front of me. So you don't expect the kid to rip the team. Luke Hames, the kid didn't do much, only playing 12 minutes tonight. But then, like I said with Berube, why in Christ's name are you playing Philip Myers, who had that horrendous defensive play the other night against Washington last night? Had that stupid penalty in the first period that led to the goal on the delayed penalty there. He didn't need to play tonight, Philip Myers. Why don't you play Villanueva? Why don't you play the other prospect kid, the forward, Trevberg, I think his name is. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so excuse me if I mispronounced there. But why aren't you playing the bloody prospects, for Christ's sakes? We need to be losing hockey games. The Panthers are sitting everybody, but we're playing our veteran guys like Troy Stecher tonight, for God's sakes. Why is he playing when you could have played Villanueva? Or why are you playing OEL? Or why are you playing McCabe? There's no need to be playing these guys. Honestly, like, Berube's so bloody hard-headed, for Christ's sakes. He knows he's a dead man walking, but still, holy shit. It's like he's trying to screw our draft stock up and saying, I don't want us to finish on the bottom 5. It's like, Jesus Murphy, man. Play the bloody kids. On Saturday night against the Panthers, do not play any veterans, honestly. I want to lose that game on Saturday to the Panthers, guys. I do not want to win that game. Because if we win that game there, I think we could kiss goodbye bottom 5, and there will be a less of a chance of getting that bottom 5 spot for the lottery pick. So, I hope to God that Berube doesn't play Ekman-Larsson after he left the game early again tonight, for Christ's sakes. Don't play him on Saturday. If a guy or two is feeling injured, don't play them. Honestly, sit the bloody guys, for God's sakes. Like, holy shit, man. Like, you have guys like Nyes, who was -2 tonight. Benoit was -2 tonight. Domi was -2. Like, some guys shouldn't even be playing in general because they just don't give a shit. Even guys like William Nylander, these guys are over it. These guys are done with it. Just play the kids. Give them their first game in the NHL. Let them have that experience. Give them some ice time. Give them those minutes. Honestly, like, shit, I'm not trying, to say, oh, you know what, the most important thing is, the kids getting their first game. No, I want the Leafs to lose the game, give the prospects their first game, to make the moment count so they know, okay, this is what it's like to play in the NHL. Give them that little bit of experience, with the season already awash with 3 games left. It's unnecessary to be trying to win hockey games. Still, honestly, I'd even play Achamoff again on Saturday, for Christ's sakes. I would even play Joe Wall. Play the bloody kids the rest of the way. Just sacrifice these games. Just sacrifice them. Lose the last 3 games of the season. Lose to Florida. Lose to Dallas on Monday. Lose to Ottawa Wednesday. And wrap up the season. Honestly, I hope to God the Leafs lose out the rest of the way. Seattle has a couple games in hand, but they got some tough opponents. Colorado, Vegas. They play Calgary tomorrow. Hopefully they beat Calgary. I think they're playing them tonight, actually. I got to double check that. But I hope to God the Kraken can win a couple games in hand. They can pass the Leafs. Hope the Leafs lose the next 2 games. Maybe the Rangers can win a couple games. They got 3 games left as well. So we'll see what happens, guys. But I hope to God that Berube stops this nonsense. I hope to God he plays some kids. I don't think he's going to, though. I don't expect him to. It's just what we want to see us Leaf fans to end the season. Of course, play the kids. Give them that moment. And, hopefully they lose the rest of the way and they get that bottom 5 pick, and they hope the balls fall in the right places for the Leafs to get a top 5 pick and maybe draft a high-end defenseman, or maybe get lucky and draft Gavin McKenna first overall. I don't know, guys. We'll have to wait and see what happens, but this was just another horrendous loss by the Maple Leafs tonight, guys. Just absolutely another inexcusable game tonight. Like, the shots on net were 24-3, 12-6, and 8-7. Like, God almighty, man. These games here are really difficult to watch, to say the least. Richie had 2 points, and Hyman had a goal, Schaefer had a goal, Shen had a goal, Pajot had a goal, D'Angelo had 2 assists. Everybody was a plus on the Islanders, except for Mayfield and Susie were a -1 tonight. And, other than Sorokin being an absolute shit show in net tonight, the Islanders got their business done under Pete DeBoer, getting his first win as Islanders head coach. Congratulations to him. Glad it came against the Leafs, who are trying to tank right now. Things are looking decent right now with the losses right now for the Leafs, but Let's see what happens Saturday night, guys. I am going to be in a very, very, very bad mood if the Maple Leafs win that game on Saturday night against the Panthers. Regulation or overtime, I don't care. If I get a W on Saturday for the Leafs, oh, God, I am not going to be happy, guys. But we'll love your guys' thoughts and opinions on this one tonight. Love your thoughts and opinions on the kids, how Haynes and Achimov played. Love your thoughts and opinions on where this team stands right now with 3 games left in the season, how they perform tonight, guys. We'll love to hear it. Also, like this video. Subscribe if you guys want to see more content. Go Leafs, go as always, guys. See you guys on the next episode of Leafs Unfiltered. Ciao, guys.